All right, I think things are just about as perfect as I could possibly get them. I really hope so, because it's like the 4th time I've tried to shoot this video. But welcome to Tag Back, the show where every week we take a look at another blaster from the past to see what it could offer us today in the present. And this time, what we're looking at isn't even really from the past. In fact, it just barely left stores, which is hilarious because if you look on eBay right now, they're ridiculously expensive, and they're actually not very common on eBay. And on Amazon, they're like $150. What the heck could I possibly be talking about? Well, it's a blaster I didn't get a look at the time of its release, and I really got lucky finding one in a thrift store, and it happens to be pink, because today we're going to be taking a look at the Rebelle Fearless Fire. I don't remember which subline it's from. I think it was Agents and Spies or something like that. I have no idea. But this thing is amazing. And really, sometimes I just need to gush about a blaster, and since I really don't know how else to take a look at this blaster, we're throwing it into Tag Back. Why not? What about this thing sings to me besides the fact that it looks like a Thompson submachine gun? I mean, you got this off, you put like a sling fire stock right here, you might have extended out this barrel, and you get yourself something that looks just like a Thompson with that magnificent drum magazine, but, well, this thing's really interesting. It's a little bit different than just about any other blaster besides the Incisor from the Alien Menace line, which is kind of like the upgrade or the reshell of this thing, but I really don't like the Incisor. This is perfect though, I love this thing. And it's one of those blasters I'm gonna say right out of the gate, if you can find one, pick it up. Seriously, this thing is so good. And I'm really upset I never got a chance to take it out and, do a formal review on it. But I happened to get this one majorly in part to Potatoes, who allowed me to accompany him on a thrifting trip back in September. And this is one of the blasters I said in the very beginning, besides the rare and expensive things like the, Maximizer and stuff like that, that I really wanted, but I did not have. And we found it like the 5th or 6th stop in, and I got it for the princely sum of $4.25. It is a flywheel-powered blaster that is very, very similar to the Barricade, but it's got a massive 24-dart, revolving drum magazine thing that you can't remove. It's part of the blaster itself, but 24 darts, and it's flywheel semi-automatic. You got a rev trigger right here, your normal trigger right here, which obviously has a mechanical linkage that pushes the darts into the flywheels. And the first weird thing besides what I've already said is that the flywheel cage is horizontal, which is different than I think just about every other blaster, sans maybe the Incisor. I don't remember if that one is also horizontal because, again, it is very similar to this, it's kind of flipped upside down. But horizontal as opposed to vertical on every other blaster. And coupled with that fact, this blaster is exceedingly accurate out of the box. Now, some would say that might have something to do with the horizontal flywheel cages, but as we've kind of gone on, as multiple people have played with these things, we've kind of figured out that it might have something to do with this very, very tight barrel on the end of this thing. Very tight. I mean, there's not a whole lot of room there. Well, every other blaster has a huge gaping nozzle at the front of it. This thing is very, very small, and it fits darts perfectly. That's awesome because this thing is accurate as anything could be. I do have some batteries in this, and I will fire off a couple of darts, but not that you'll get a good idea of how accurate it is, but I don't know how obvious that was, but there's like no deviation in the spread whatsoever. If I had to choose an accurate blaster besides any of the AccuStrike stuff that's coming out, you throw cushion in this thing, it's incredible. Better yet, it's very quiet. Now these are like some kind of crazy Duracell red quantum batteries that are supposed to be way better for high demanding gadgets and whatnot. And like that's not like higher voltage or anything, but these flywheels are very well balanced, it's very quiet, it's a very, very lovely blaster. I cannot say that enough. Is there a downside to it? Well, I didn't pick it up because I thought it was gonna have the same problem the Barricade and the Stockade had, where the trigger would get kind of locked up. It doesn't do that, thankfully. There is one flaw, but I'm pretty sure it's an easy fix, and that is, see the dart? Where's the dart now? I have no idea, because it really, like, if you're running around and stuff like that, it's pretty good unless you're trying to twist it. But yeah, that spins like none other. And that probably has to do something with the very, very weak, in the back of the drum here, there's these little tiny divots carved into the back of it that I'm sure has some like little spring rounded piece that tries to lock in there. But of course it can't be too tight because it has to be able to rotate, and that leads to all sorts of problems. Giggity. However, it's not a huge deal. In fact, a lot of the people I talked to, like Frisco Bandito, said that this thing is godsend for HVZ, next to stuff like obviously the Magnum Super Drum, but this came out a little bit before that. And I'm well versed in believing that, because when it comes to stuff like HVZ, yes, high capacity is awesome, but you gotta remember, with like a magazine, let's say I'm running into a fight and there's somebody there, even PvP, but we'll take it from, you know, zombies. You shoot at them once or twice, you hit them, they're done. But if you have a 18-round magazine, you fired off 6 shots to get one person out, which honestly isn't even that good, well, now you're down to like 12 darts, and you might run into like 3 zombies next time, and you might fire off 8 more shots. Well, now you have 4 darts left, and chances are you're gonna swap out your magazine and put in a fresh one. You might even swap out that 12-rounder to put the 18 back in. These kinds of blasters with these open-faced turrets don't have that problem, because as you're firing, when you're done with your engagement, you just put darts back in it. You don't have to worry a bunch. You just, bam, good to go. You can get back into the fight. And with this thing, I haven't seen anybody do it, probably for a good reason, but I really, really want to carve out the back here and let it rear load. Because if you can imagine having this thing up like this, ready to fire, and you could be rear loading the drum with fresh darts, that would be so cool. Rear loading is so much fun when you're able to do it, and this thing just begs for it. And the problem is that this thing's kind of hard to come by now. I mean, even, what, like 3 months ago, it was hard to find one online. They were really expensive. Then when they cleared out of like Walmart and stuff like that, they were like a paltry 15, 16 bucks. But I couldn't find any of them. I never found this thing in person anywhere. Much like the Nerf Cam ECS-12, I could not find one of these blasters in the wild, and I just never picked it up for some reason. I'm kicking myself for it. So this is my PSA to you. If for some reason you were turned off of this blaster, whether it's that it doesn't look like some kind of crazy military hardware like the Strife, or that it's pink. I love the pink, obviously. It's so good. Even stock, it's so good. Jam door right there. Not that I've ever had this thing jam on me. And the batteries are located right here, so the balance is very, very good. The only thing that annoys me is that this trigger doesn't actually have a guard there. So I can't like flip it, and I want to flip this so badly because it's so cool. I mean, yeah, the grips are kind of small, but it's still very comfortable. I mean, oh, it works so well. And overall, the blaster isn't really all that long. So if you wanted to have it, you know, slung down here, or even in some kind of crazy belt apparatus, you could totally do that. You could have this on your hip. It's not that big. But of course, what you would want to do with this thing is, again, put the sling fire stock on the back of it and extend out this muzzle just a little bit and give yourself that authentic Thompson feel, because this blaster deserves it. The Rebelle Fearless Fire is incredible, and I can highly, highly recommend you try looking for one, because you might not ever have a chance to get one again. This was found at a thrift store, so. And I have a theory about that. I think because it was pink, and little boys are the ones that usually like the guns, and they usually don't like the color pink for whatever reason. I have a feeling that's why I found, well, this, Codebreaker crossbow, Rapid Red, Pink Crush. Basically everything I found from that trip was Rebelle. There's probably a good reason for that. But let me know what you think about the Rebelle Fearless Fire down in the comment boxes below. Do you have one? Do you want one? Do you have any plans for them? I personally have already sent off, it's been about 8 days now since I've got the shipping notification that my Dr. Snicka's flywheel cage for this thing is gonna be here soon. And then I'm gonna be able to put in my 180 motors and have this thing really, really punching. And then the goal for it is to have a very, very special hydro dip paint job on this thing. which is going to cost me something like $140, I'm not even kidding, and that's mostly because the film is going to be completely custom. That's going to be very expensive, but I want to have it done so badly because it looks so cool! But of course, if you hate this thing, the dislike button is there as well, so you have fun with that. I'm Walcom S7, thank you so much for watching this video, and of course I hope to see you in an entirely different one. And hopefully this video actually turned out, because I do not want to record this again.